Hey everybody, welcome back. This is just going to be a quick video of me installing a catch can into my car. Right now it just still has everything hooked up as it came from the factory. I've got the catch can sitting here. I actually have got a new smaller battery that I've bought that has to get fitted because the old battery is actually a lot bigger. I've gone ahead and test fitted everything, so I know it's going to fit and work. So what I'm going to show you here is just how I get everything set up. It actually is going to sit right down in here in front of the battery. So this will just be a short video with an overview of how I get everything installed. The other thing too, just before I get started, is this is going to be a closed system. So the tubing is going to come off of the back of the valve cover, come down here to the catch can, and then come back around and tap into the intake side. That way it has vacuum. So I'll show you all the stuff that I got and all the parts, and then we'll get started. Alright, I got everything laid out here. I'll walk through each piece bit by bit, that way you know what I've got. Also, you'll have to excuse the sniffling. It is really cold in the garage today, and my nose is running, so that's always fun. I'm not actually sure what's worse, if working in the garage when it's freezing cold like this or when it's blazing hot. Either way, it's not that much fun. Anyhow, here's what we got. So this is a catch can from AutoStaff. It's actually a really nice piece. I think it holds about 2.5 liters. The tube here on the side is actually a little view to let you know if there's any oil, and if there is any oil in it, how much oil is actually in there. It's separated and baffled on the inside, which is really nice. It's made by AutoStaff. I got it through Right Hand Drive Japan. These pipes here are actually new. This one goes to the PCV side. This one goes to the PCV side. This one is the crossover tube. And then on the other side, this is actually 10 feet of 3/4 inch. I think it's fuel rated. Anyway, it's fuel oil rated tubing. And then I've got two little connectors here. This is an elbow, a 90-degree elbow that's 3/4 to 3/4, and then this right here is actually a 3/4 to 5/8 reducer, and this is needed on the intake side to actually reduce this I'll show you. That reducer piece is actually needed because the pipe is going to come back around this side and then come back into here, and then it's going to tap into this line, and this line is actually 5/8. So running a 3/4 down here to the 5/8 will need to get reduced. So I'll actually put that piece right here and I'll loop back up over the back. Alright, so let's get to it. So we're actually going to get started under here, unhooking all this old tubing. I got my underhood light. By the way, this thing is awesome. I'll put a link in the description if you need to pick one up yourself. So we're going to start by taking this off, and that back side off as well. And then we'll start hooking everything back up. Alright, everything's out now. You can see I got the hoses off on that side, hoses off are on this side. Down here I need to take off this little piece as it goes to this breather. I actually have a aftermarket, this tube is actually an aftermarket one, and it's a little bit different than the one that's factory because this is a hard pipe instead of the plastic, or instead of the rubber one that's in there. So the way that this connects is slightly different. So it's probably not 100%. If you still have a factory one like this, it'll be a little bit different for you, but it's essentially the same thing overall. So I need to take out this little piece here. Then this, I don't know what you call this thing. I guess the, I don't know, the cam cover breather needs to be rotated 90 degrees so that this tube is pointing that direction, and then this tube is now pointing where this one is sitting. So I'm going to do that here now. So I got the old ones out. They're sitting here on the side. Had our first casualty of the day. That sucks. This thing is actually, I've had this probably 20 years, and I don't know if it's just been fatigued over the years, if it's too cold or what, but anyway, it bit the dust, so I'll have to buy a new one of those. Alright, so the next part here is going to be me rotating that 90 degrees to the left. This is the way that I've found that it's going to be working, is I actually have a 10mm socket stuck in there onto a breaker bar, and I'm tapping it with my dead blow hammer, and it is starting to rotate. So I'm going to put this down, and well, hopefully you can see me actually rotating this thing. So let's get after it. Alright, there you go. You can see it's rotated now. That actually worked out a lot better than I thought. And as you can see, I did not damage that little breather tube. So if you need to do this yourself, there you go. So got the catch can installed now, 10mm here that holds it in place. It has a slight amount of adjustability. It's got a little bit of adjustability. I have the catch can pushed as far into the engine bay as it will go. And next I'll get the battery mounted, put in here. I've got an Odyssey. It is an ODS AGM 16L. It's really small and very lightweight. I actually have fitted some felt on the front. It's kind of like this rubberized tape, one-sided. So this is the side that will sit up against the catch can. So hopefully that keeps it from slipping around too much in there. And then I also have this mounted on the top so that the battery tie down will sit over top of that and hopefully keep it from sliding around too much in there as well. I just put on the terminals, and now I'll get the battery mounted in, and we'll run all the tubes, and then we'll be done. Alright, now I got the battery down here in place. You can see the way that it's laid out. There's plenty of real estate in here. I hear good things about this battery. This car actually, whenever this car is not being driven, it's actually on a battery tender, so I am not too worried about this battery going flat at all. So anyway, this is what it'll look like. We're going to get the tubes hooked up now. We're going to run the tubes so that can be connected to the breather, and that'll be the next steps here. This would have been a lot easier without the strut bar in the way, huh? I just want to check how I want to have it routed. Alright, so we'll make a mark and then we'll cut it. Alright, now we'll make a cut. Alright, so the first hose is installed now. I'm going to get everything zip tied. It's kind of popping up back there a little bit, but I'm going to get things zip tied and down kind of out of the way. But the way that I'm going to have this the way this catch can system is going to be set up is it will come off of the back breather like that, and then down here to the bottom, because you want the air coming in down, and then it gets caught in the bottom and separates, and then the return comes out of the top and will come up around the back, and then it'll come straight back into here and actually connect down to that little nipple right down there. So it'll come up all the way around the back and then to there. So that's the hose that I'm going to set up now, and I think I'm going to start from this end and then build it back here and then make it go around. Also, one other little trick, use a little bit of silicone spray onto the tubes. If you spray a little bit of silicone on the end of the tube, it'll slide on a lot easier. Alright, everything is now hooked up. So I want to show you, I'm going to get everything kind of zip tied in a better orientation here. But what you can see is coming off, so this is a brand new pipe here, the crossover, brand new pipe to the PCV valve, which is right there. Then it comes off of here, around, and then tucks in onto the bottom. The inlet is on the bottom. All the air and oil gets separated, and then the air comes out the top, back across, and then taps in to this reducer, which goes from 3/4 to 5/8, and then that taps in and goes right back down in here, which is into the inlet just in front of the rear turbo. And that is a catch can system that I'm going to be running. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this all tidied up back here and zip tied kind of down out of the way, so that way when the hood closes we don't have any issue. I'll get the battery installed, and then at the end I'll just come back and show you the wrap up. So I'll take a quick overview for you here. Battery is now down into place. Battery tie down is in place as well. Everything is good. All the things are zip tied into spot, held hopefully in place. And yeah, this is awesome. So you got the PCV valve is connected, and it comes into the left side of the breather, and then you got the crossover, and then you've got then it comes out of the right side of the breather and then travels down over here into the bottom of the catch can. The air swirls into the bottom of the catch can, and the air gets separated from the oil. The air continues to travel out because there's a baffle in here. Comes out of the top, travels up through the tube here, and then back around where it has vacuum to this, which is connected to the hard pipe right down in here. And that is in front of the rear turbo, which provides vacuum, which aids in extracting all of the gases. If you're putting in a catch can yourself, hopefully this video is helpful for you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.